Hi, today we're going to discuss about Apache Maven repositories, which is a local repository, and Maven central repository. Let's see what exactly the local repository and central repositories are on in the actual project which we created in the last video. I'm just going to the project what I created last week in the previous session. Just open the command prompt from the project and type mvn clean package. This clean package is basically going to compile the code and create a package. And there is some error message which I'm seeing here. Okay, I'm not in the right folder. So if you see this message, I mentioned in the previous class that I should be executing a Maven command from where we have a pom.xml. So currently I am not inside a simple project. So I am outside simple project where you can see desktop Java. I should go inside a simple project. That's where I can execute mvn clean package. So what clean does is basically the clean will be clearing the target folder. If there is a target folder here, currently there is no target folder, still it will try to delete in case if it is present. So that's what a clean does. And package, as we discussed in the previous session, where the package is part of Maven lifecycle, where where it's verify, compile, test, then package. So I'm going to execute this command so you can see what's happening here. So as part of this process, in case if there is any dependencies, whatever is required, it will download it from internet. And now if you see, it is not downloaded anything from internet because it is already downloaded when I ran first time. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to clear the stuff what is been already downloaded. So by going into the C colon users vagrant. This is my user. C colon users vagrant is my users. There is a .m2 folder. I'm going to delete it. So .m2 is the folder which is representing as a local repository. So if you're running with what user you are running this process. So C colon users, when you open a command prompt, you can see as what user you are running. You are running it as a C colon users vagrant. And here you can see this is your default landing location. If you open a command prompt, this is a default landing location. This one is called as a user profile. You can go to you can go and check the user profile. So whatever the user you are on, if you see the user profile, it will be C colon users username. So if you are on user administrator, it will be C colon users administrator. If you are in ABC, that will C colon users ABC. So this is what the user profile is. So by default, .m2 folder will be created and it will be available in .m2 which is inside user profile. So inside your user profile, the M2 folder will be created automatically. So as I just deleted the M2 folder, if I rerun the mvn clean package, as part of this project compilation, testing, and validation and packaging, this might require some of the dependencies. It will download from internet and it will store in .m2 folder, which will be in your user profile. So I want to understand here what is user profile. C colon users vagrant is my username. So that C colon users vagrant is my user profile. Within that folder, you have a .m2. That is what we call it as local repository for Maven. Of course, you can change that, but the default behavior, default .m2 location is C colon users username. Okay, so when I do mvn clean package, you can see here I don't have any dependencies. I cleared entire M2 folder. So this command should go and recreate all the dependencies whatever I need, and it will download from internet. You can see here it is downloading all of them from https repo.mavenapache.org, https repo.maven.apache.org, and this is the entire URL of the dependency. So it is downloading all the dependencies and storing in our local repository. So what is our local repository again? C colon users vagrant and whatever the username it is dot m2. If I go to m2, you can see there is a repository. Inside repository, we have we can see a lot of we can see four packages. Basically, it's a group ID. So within the group ID, you can find the artifact ID and package number, version number. You can see this is the dependency. You can go back once again in the repository. You can see here what are the packages it's downloading. If you see it is downloading into org, Codehouse, Plexus, and this entire thing is the group ID, org, Codehouse, and Plexus, and this is the artifact ID and version number. When you in the Java world, if you take any dependencies, group ID, artifact ID, and version number are the key role. If you want to take a down dependency from internet, or if you want to give your project to someone, these are the three components: group ID, artifact ID, and version number. If you understand, or if I open the pom.xml for this project, you can still see this group ID, artifact ID, and version number. Even when we're creating a project, we did mention it. That will be still there in the pom.xml. We can see here, I just hit enter. Uh, it was just waiting for the prompt. I think yeah, it is completing now. And now you can see it's a build success. So now whatever is required for compiling, testing, and packaging, it downloaded all the dependencies and stored in a local repository. What is a local repository again? .m2 location. So as it is all there in the M2 location, when I perform once again ambient clean package, it will not download again. It will refer my local repository. The preference is always local repository and it will go to internet. If it is not available, if you see, this is the, yeah, this is the command I executed. It is not downloading anything now. It is performing a clean, it is performing a compilation, and it is also performing the tests, and it should be creating a packaging as well. See the packaging also done as a jar file, and it is a part of target folder. Target folder will be created automatically as we are executing a clean. Clean will remove the target folder and package will create the target folder again. So the reason for clean is we don't want to have a previously executed output. Every time it's a fresh output. So that's where we use MVN clean package. Yeah, that's where include a clean. So So now we got all the dependencies, whatever is required, and stored in the .m2, right? So it doesn't go to internet again and again. So when it goes to internet, what happens? How the uh, internet packages are look like? If you see, this is the URL where it's going default. Maven knows where it's supposed to go and pull the dependencies from. So this is the URL. If I can go directly to the this URL and search for any dependency. Okay, this is Yeah, let me do in internet probably rather than going to directly to the URL. I can try Apache Maven Central. Can see there must be yeah, here Maven Central repository. If I open this, you can see the Maven. This is the Maven repository. Here, mvnrepository.com. Obviously, the name is different, but obviously, if I go to the package, you will see here repo1.maven.org. If I see the URL repo.maven.apache.org, it is a repo1.maven.org. Both of them basically a same location it is representing to. Suppose if you want to look for any dependency, example, there is a dependency called JUnit. If I go to that, you can find these are the dependencies. I can click on any of the dependency and see what version I want to select, and then you can see here if you want to use this dependency, this is the group ID, this is the artifact ID and version number, and also scope. This is how you define any dependency in your pom.xml. If I go to pom.xml, I will show you the pom.xml now. If I go to the project, the pom.xml. So in pom.xml, we define what is the dependency, right? This dependencies will be downloaded from internet in case if it is not available. If you see there is a dependency of org junit Jupyter and JUnit Jupyter engine, right? If I go to the .m2 folder, I'm sure it must have been already downloaded. We can just remove it and rerun once again. .m2 repository. So it's a org and Jupyter org JUnit Jupyter. So I'm in org JUnit Jupyter and you can see JUnit Jupyter engine, JUnit Jupyter engine 5.10.2. So JUnit Jupyter Engine 5.10.2, the entire folder I'm going to remove it now. So obviously when I do ambient clean package now, it will it will check for Maven local, that means Maven M2 folder. If it's not available, it will download it from internet. Again, that means from Maven central repository. Now you see it is downloading, right? At any time, if you want to search for any dependency, you can take this artifact ID and search in the Maven Central website. I go to Maven Central website and search for this JUnit Jupyter engine. You can see here JUnit Jupyter engine and also it's matching with, okay, let me click on it. You can see which version 5.11.3. If I go there, you can see group ID org JUnit Jupyter, org JUnit Jupyter engine and scope is version number is 5.11.3. So this entire block we can use it as a part of dependency section. You can see here this dependency is basically the same content came from here. So 5.11.3 is the latest version, but what we are using is 5.10.2. At any time, if I want to use the latest version, I can change the version number 5.11.3 here, 5.11.3. So I was using old version. So in M2, there will be old version already downloaded. It must have downloaded already the old version. Now, if I go back, see 5.10.2, 5.10.2 version is available. If I rerun MVN clean package now, obviously it will look for local. For what version? It will look for 5.11.3. This particular file is not available or this particular dependency is not available in .m2. It will download it from Maven Central. Let's see. It should be able to download that version, whatever we specified. You can see here 5.11.3 file is downloaded. Yeah, it's downloaded from internet. JUnit. Yeah. So you may there could be a kind of question here. So we mentioned one dependency which is a 5.11.3 from 5.10.2. How come there is already other dependencies like a JUnit bomb, other dependencies are downloaded? Basically, in the Java world, there is some concept called transitive dependencies. When you're pulling for one dependencies, if this is require another dependencies, it will pull automatically. So we don't really need to mention that. That's a default behavior. The transitive dependencies, it will download automatically for its own dependencies. For this project, whatever the dependencies it require, it will download it from internet. Now, if you see, if you go to the location, you can see 5.11.3. So this is what the local repository is representing for. Local repository will be part of C colon users vagrant. That's basically user profile. .m2 folder. You will have all the dependencies downloaded. And when you're looking for any dependency, the preference will be in your local. In case if it's not available, it will go to Maven Central, where it will try to find out based on the group ID and artifact ID and version number. For example, if I say 5.11.4, which is not available in my Maven local, at the same time in Maven Central also it's not available. If you see 5.11.3 is the maximum number. So if I go to 5.11.4 and if I try to save and run it once again, it will look for local and it will look for central, and where it can't find both the locations and it will give us an error message. Oh, it did download it 5.11.4. How come it is available? Let me see. Somehow it's not appearing here, but still it is downloaded. Can go to this location. Yeah, it is downloaded and it packaged as well. If I go to .m2 org JUnit Jupyter Jupyter Engine, you can see 5.11.14 as well. Maybe let me go with the completely different 5.11.9. Let me run it once again. Yeah, you can see here it is trying to download 5.11.9 and it's not available, is missing. No dependency information available, and it is telling that could not resolve the dependencies for project. So it is uh, basically it is look the priority order is your local, then it will go to uh, your Maven central. At any point, if you want to prove the point whether it is looking local or not, you can copy the same thing 5.11.9 we are looking for, right? So 5.11.4, I copy it and say 5.11.9. It should be able to pick from local and 5.11. I need to replace all of them. 9. Yeah, let me give a try. Now we have in the local repository 5.11.9, even though I just renamed it, and then in central we don't have the this 5.11.9. Let's see, it should be able to pick my local file what I mentioned, and it should be able to complete the package. See, it is picking. It picked the local dependency, whatever I mentioned. So the priority order, we can see clearly, it looks for local repository, then it will go for central repository in case if it is not available in local. This is the order. So uh, in case if at any point of time, if you want to add any new dependencies in the for the project, you can go to pom.xml. This is the pom.xml file where we defined in the project, and the group ID, artifact ID, and version number. For every project, is mandatory to have group ID, artifact ID, and version number. And there is a dependency, right? This dependency block, you can add another dependency in case if you want. You can copy paste one more dependency from the Maven Central. At any point of time, if you want one more dependency, you can go to that dependency example calculator. I'm looking for calculator functionality where somebody must have developed calculator functionality and giving as a jar file. I'm going and taking the dependency, and you can see here this is the block I need to copy paste. So as soon as I add this block into pom.xml, when I try to compile, it will try to download this particular dependency from internet as I don't have in my local system. This will be the same thing for plugins as well. You see here it is downloading CVSS calculator from Maven Central, and it is using it's available now in my local M2 folder. From next time onwards, it doesn't go to internet. Yeah, yeah. So and one more thing is for the project, what we have is the output folder is the target, and the file output is jar Java archive. So this artifact ID and version number and the jar. So that this is a Java project. So this project is producing Java archive. Okay, this can be given to someone in case if someone want to use this code. Okay, so hope you like this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you do like the video, please do share and subscribe. Thank you.